South Floridian Stephen Tulloch played in the NFL for 11 years.
It's a long time.
It really is. He played with the Titans, Lions, and Eagles, and before that, he was a star on the Killian High School football team.
He dropped by to talk football and philanthropy.
Stephen, my friend, good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
It's nice to have an NFL star in the room.
Appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
Of course, 11 seasons in the NFL, a huge accomplishment. Do you miss the game? Or are you glad you got out when you did? How do you feel now about it?
I feel good. 27 years of football. I started when I was 5 years old. 11 years in the professional industry. I think 11 years is good enough for me. So now that I have my health, it's good to be able to walk away from the game and start a new venture.
And we're going to get to all of the great stuff you're doing. I'm curious now, as it's the off-season training camps, and you're like a year plus removed from football. Do you miss it at all? Are you thinking like, oh man, I'd like to put on the pads for a couple of weeks or something?
Oh, do I miss it? I miss the guys. The locker room. Meeting players from all over the world, and people have different backgrounds and stories of how they got to the NFL. Only 1,500 or so players can play in this league, and to be able to it's an honor to play 11 years and to meet so many people along the journey throughout those years are the things you miss probably the most. But the grueling days of training camp, which will be starting here pretty soon, don't miss those days, or the hot tub, the cold tubs, the therapy. But I'm happy to be able to walk away and start a new venture.
So now the work that you're doing in the community is so great. You're sporting the Circle House coffee shirt. Tell us about it.
Well, Circle House Coffee. So during my NFL career, it's important for me to give back. I've been blessed to play, like I said, a long time and make a good living doing it. And my mom always instilled in me, no matter what you have in life, always pay it forward and give back. And I was able to bless her through the fruits of my labor of the NFL, and I wanted to bless other people as well. And so I started the Stephen Tulloch Foundation my first year in the NFL, and we started adopting schools and in different places to people affected by cancer to help give back. And when I left the game, I wanted to find a way to continue to give back, and I wanted to do it through coffee. I felt like coffee is a good place to give back, and everybody kind of comes around with coffee and comes together, and then that's where I'm gearing towards, and I think that's going to be a good avenue just to be able to give back and let people know that Circle House Coffee cares about the community, care about what's going on around the world, and we want to raise money for those causes.
And it's opening in downtown Fort Lauderdale. When do you think it'll be open?
We'll open up the end of September, early October this fall, and looking forward to it and having the community wrapped around it, and a place where everybody can come together and know that it's a place of giving, it's a place of coming together. It's a good spot.
All right, we're going to come. If we're invited when it opens,
Definitely
we'll be
invited,
there,
definitely
of course.
invited.
Before we go, let's end with one more football question. Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
I don't know. I think Philly goes back to back.
Back to back?
Philly goes back to back. I like what they have there. I love Doug Peterson. I think he's doing a phenomenal job. And obviously, Coach Schwartz, being a defensive coordinator, is a guy who I've looked up to for many years since I was 20. They have a good team, good leadership, and those guys, and Sproles and Peters and all those guys that are there now. And I don't see many quarterbacks better than Carson Wentz in this league, and I think they have a bright future for many years.
Do you have any take on the Dolphins? Do you follow them closely enough to have an opinion on how
I
they
do.
might
I do. I had the training camp there for a couple weeks. Coach Burke is defensive coordinator there. He coached me when I was in Tennessee and in Detroit. And a lot of the coaching staff there are coaches that coached me throughout my career. So a lot of good friends of mine. My best friend Frank Gore is on the team this year, so I'm rooting for him to break the record. And looking forward to it.
Well, as we say goodbye, since you know so many coaches over there and some players in Frank Gore, maybe you should just play.
Nah, my days are over, but I'm rooting for those guys for sure.
Good to see you, my friend.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, take care.
Sure.
So he's combining football and coffee, which is my favorite thing combined with your favorite thing.